Hi guys.
เดินตัวคนเดียวก็มีความสุขแบบฉันเอง
Can you can you hear the frustration in my tone? Like honestly, I'm tired. I have been taping this intro for how many times already? Over and over and over again, and I just can't seem to satisfy myself. But anyways, I'm still going to say the spiels that I've prepared for this vlog. So welcome back to my channel. Even though I don't assume that you keep on coming back to my YouTube channel, but this is like a welcome back to me, to myself. Because this will be the first time in a long time of hiatus that I'm going to do another vlog, that I'm going to upload another vlog on my channel. And this time, it's not about makeup anymore. We are going to do a sit down vlog. This is not my original concept. Please don't come at me asking for originality because the ideas in this world is just recycled ideas from each and everyone. Okay, so we're going to do a sit down vlog about the things that I'm currently on for. Okay, so you know me. If you know me, you know that I am a major fangirl. Like, I fangirl about author, I fangirl on characters, artists, I fangirl on celebrities, even on drawings. Okay, but anyways, again, so there are so many things in life that I would like to talk about, and just consider this as a, like something that connects us. Okay? This is me asking you to listen. I'm just a girl asking you to listen, watch my vlog, and maybe be my friend someday. Alright, so anyway, so before I proceed, let me just excuse my mic. Okay, this microphone is not as aesthetic as those other podcast mics that you may have seen. This is just my work microphone, okay? So just forgive the microphone. And anyways, look at it's my headband. Okay, let my headband appease your sight. Okay, just consider me as your review fairy for this afternoon or your sit down fairy for this vlog. Okay, alright, so the first topic that we're going to talk about in this very first episode of the mini series, or I mean the series, like the sit down vlog concept that I have for you, is going to be about manhwa. A manhwa, rather. Okay, so I know that you have heard it somewhere, the manhwa, manga, and manhwa. I know you have heard it somewhere, I believe so, because it's actually widely known, right? And I believe you also heard about the term webtoon, right? Like webcomics. Alright, so the category of our topic for this sit down vlog is about a manhwa. Okay, originally I planned that I would be giving my reviews or like the top 10 for the manhwas that I have already read for the month of February, but I still don't feel like I've read enough. Okay, like I think it's not enough. This 44 manhwas that I have read for the month of February it's still not enough for me to judge them and rank them according to my favorites because honestly, everything is my favorite. Alright? So I'm just that kind of person. I have lots of things that I love. I'm a very loving person. Like, if you're my friend, you're lucky. You get to experience my weirdness and my loving personality. But anyways, let's not talk about that. Again, I feel like it's not yet satisfying to rank them because I have read just I mean not enough to judge and rank and choose my favorites because I'll be very much in trouble since all of them are my favorites. So I cannot rank them all yet. So today, let's just talk about a single manhwa which is titled as Ellin'S Solhwa. Okay, so I wrote the details here in my notebook. So just consider me as your college friend, maybe like somebody that you would like to talk things about, or your talkative classmate in the elementary who's always in the top 10 list of the talkative students. Anyway, okay, so we're going to talk about Ellen's Solhwa. Solhwa. Okay, this is a Korean manhwa. Okay, if you do not know, like for your information, there are three. I can't say what's the right term, but there's three. Okay, type of comics for Asian that appeals to be like an anime, right? On paper. Okay, like an something that looks like an anime on paper, like not the cartoonish type of panels and stories, but the anime-ish type of panels. Okay, so there are three widely known. We have the manga, which is from Japan, manhwa, that ends with the HWA, that's made from Korea, and of course we have the manhwa. Okay, manhwa, that is from China. The popularity increased because most of these webtoons, okay, are now adapted into series. Right? Or this manga, manhwa, and manhwas are now being adapted into series, and sites are actually boosting them for popularity. And of course, it makes us poor because you need to purchase this type of comics. Okay, you're not going to buy the book, the physical book, but you need to purchase it because, of course, we have the artists and the authors who does their job very well. That's why we need to pay them. They need to eat. Okay, they need to get something out of the passion that they're actually sharing with us. All right, so again, okay, I'm going to say this again because I keep on going out of the road. The title of this manhwa is Ellin'S Sowa. Okay, and it's available in Lezin Comics, Lezin, as in Lezhin Comics. Right, and the author is Sibyles, right? That's her name, pen name maybe, Sibyles. Okay, all right. So basically, the setting of this manhwa is very interesting because if you're a K-drama fan, if you love the K-drama historical dramas like Empress Ki, Scarlet Heart Rio, what else? Moon Embracing the Sun, you'll get the feels here. Okay, like the animation, okay, of this, or the art rather of this manhwa is very similar, or the feeling is very much similar to this historical K-drama. Alright, so if I'm going to compare my first impression with this drama, I mean the first impression with this manhwa, the very first K-drama that I remembered was Scarlet Heart. You know, SHR, hello, season 2, where are you? But anyways, again, so I remember the Scarlet Heart because it includes the topic or the theme of transmigration, like not necessarily returning back completely into the past, because Hazel in the SHR Scarlet Heart Rio returned as is, like a different name, but that's her. Okay, it's physically her, but this character that we have, the girl that we have, she transmigrated into the past, into the fictional kingdom. Okay, they are not using terms that are Korean, not necessarily using the dynasties. Alright, no terms about the dynasties, the clans, no terms about that. They have their own fictional names. Okay, and this girl transmigrated to the past with a different body. Okay, her soul is that one from the modern world, but her body is a different person. Alright, so now let's talk about the summary of this story. Okay, so this is a reader-based summary, my own summary. So if I forgot some details, please don't come looking for me. I'm so sorry. I'm not perfect. My memory is not photographic, but anyways, this is my turf. Okay, it's my call. So I'm going to give you a reader summary based on what I have read, and this part here is a warning. Okay, I will be giving out spoilers. Alright, so if you're a major spoiler phobic type of person, this is your cue. You can go out, you can leave, and I'll see you on my next vlog. Alright, so this is your cue. Please get out of here because I'm gonna give out spoilers, and I believe most of my friends or some of my friends have already unfriended me because I'm very much a spoiler person. Okay, I give out spoilers of everything that I have read, I have watched. So I'm so sorry for that, but anyways, again, I'm going to give out spoilers. So if you would like to read this manhwa yourself and you would not like to be, you don't want me to affect your reading, just go out, get out, and of course read it because I actually recommend this one. Like, even if you're not an avid manhwa fan, because me personally, I have just recently become a fan of manhwa. Before, I actually do not like the idea of other countries adapting manga into their own flavor. Okay, so I mean, if you're even if you're not an avid manhwa reader, you're going to love this manhwa because the art is 10 over 10, story 10 over 10. I mean, the plot 10 over 10, characters 10 over 10. Okay, so I strongly suggest that you read this one. Alright, so so much for that reminder. Okay, so now let's start the summary. We open our story with a panel, okay, with flowers. Okay, I'm not going too much into the details, but in that first scene where there are people, we see a sales lady and a customer, and the customer is actually arguing because he says that the sales lady packed his order heavily. He wants to pack, or he wants the sales lady to pack his order lightly. And I don't freaking know what that means, but anyways. Alright, so that's the problem there. And the customer is picking on her. She's not talking, but there are thoughts in her head. She's talking back inside of her head, but the customer is picking on her and she's staying silent until he says that he's asking as to why she's in this dead end job, and he assumed that she failed the exam, right? And that her parents can actually be very much ashamed of her right now. So this girl, since she's talking at the back of her head, she is actually giving us these thoughts that her parents are already dead. Her mom died, and she felt that her life started going downhill the day that her mom died. Okay, her mom died of a very much rare disease that the doctors cannot actually determine what, and right now she's actually suffering from the same kind of rare disease, and her body, according to her, is like a ticking time bomb because anytime soon she could just snap and die the same way that her mother did. Alright, so she's very unhealthy, very pale. He's still pestering her about the package or the order. Alright, so while the customer is trying to pick on her, she's trying also to hold herself back, alright, because we know that customers are always right, but he keeps on picking on her, alright, until she's done. She's done packing it already, and then gives it to him, but then he said again that, what? You still pack this one heavily. Do it again, alright, until she snapped. Okay, when he said do it again, she snapped and just shake her head wildly. And remember that scene from The Orphan when the other kids tried to grab her collar? That's how she shook her head sideways, and she snapped. She fell onto the ground unconscious. Okay, and we see the customer trying to wash his hands, saying that I didn't do anything to her. Like, what happened? That so motherfucking customer, you know. But after she fell on the ground and closed her eyes, we were taken inside her mind again. So she introduced herself. She said that she's Ellen. Okay, I guess that's where we get the Ellen from the Ellen Solhwa title. So she's Ellen. She's 26 years old. And this is one of her major problems. She had never eaten a steak before, and of course she has never been in a relationship before. And she said, according to her, that she have sold 1,000 of condoms every day, but not one was used for her. Okay, don't take it so seriously, alright? That's according to her, but yes, so we get the idea that she has never been into a relationship before. So that's that's two of her greatest regrets, alright? But as she drift so far away with the thoughts of her flashbacks, we then see a panel that's as if she's opening her eyes. Okay, and then before she completely opens her eyes, she stated that she felt that her lips is ticklish. Right, so okay, and then she gets to see a glimpse of a man bowing down into her face, and from our own point of view, we can see that this man is kissing her. Okay, and she even stated her lips feel ticklish, so this man is actually kissing her. So she pushed her away. She pushed him away, but said, of course, that maybe this man is an angel. Am I in heaven already? Because the man got this beautiful silver hair. He does look like an angel, except that he is in an old Korean warrior costume, like the type that the old Koreans actually wear. Alright, so and she even praised this man. Okay, so she said that he is actually very handsome. Okay, and then the man then introduced himself, believing that she lost her memories, because I believe she fell down from somewhere, because there are rocks around her, and then there's a lake, right? So maybe, alright, he got the idea that, okay, that she lost her memory. So I'm introducing myself. So he introduced himself as Master Jean. He did not say Master, he just said Jean. Okay, so he's Jean, and he said that they need to go back to the palace, to the king's palace. And then Ellen, because she still is not like fully awakened, like she still got no idea about what's happening. She said that, palace, you mean to see God? Because she still believes that this man is an angel. And then Jean explained, no, no, the king's palace. Okay, and then she got the chance to look at herself in the lake and realize that, oh my freaking God, this is not myself. I mean, this is not my face. She's seeing a different girl in the lake with her reflection, and it's not her old face. Okay, it's someone else's face. But of course, she noticed that, okay, this wardrobe is like very old costume, and of course, her complexion now is like very healthy. She's got puffy cheeks, right, and not the haggard face that she has before. Alright, but then Jane rushes her, takes her back to the horse, and then of course drives back to the palace. Alright, then next we get to see them inside the palace already. So Jean, while they're walking towards her room, informs her about herself, because this man actually believes still that she lost her memories. Okay, so he introduced her to herself and said that you are Solhwa, you are the king's fourth concubine. Alright, and tonight will be your first meeting with the king and his advisor. Okay, and in this type of conversation, he then slightly gives a leeway to explain about, or to give us a hint of why Solhwa was chosen to be as a concubine. Okay, and then he explains that you must not look at the advisor and the king's eyes directly, because they are very dangerous people. It's also a sign of disrespect, but again, you wouldn't want to be in their bad side, because Kiha, the advisor, is a very ruthless and a cold-blooded man. Okay, like he explains to her what happened to their nation, because the Sharan is actually the capital, and the Sharan warriors, soldiers, including the advisor Kiha, they attacked their nation In order for them to be under the ruling of the empire that they're building, they attacked their nation, and it was Kiha who led this attack. So that's why he reminded her about why she's here, okay, as a concubine, as the fourth concubine. And then she ended the conversation with a statement that if you become queen, alright, you can save us all. That's why you're here. So above all things, don't forget that. Okay, so Solhwa, this body where poor Ellen was transmigrated to, is actually under a mission of saving her nation, the Azurite. Okay, so that's Azurite. Right, that's Azure. I mean Azure. The nation is actually Azure, and the people are called Azurite. Okay, so in this manhwa, we were introduced to like three fictional kingdoms, right? So there's no mention of the Koryo, Silla, the Choson, no such things as that. Everything is purely fictional, which I believe is a very nice thing. I mean, yes. I mean, personally, like, if I'm going to read a fiction like this, I would not like it to be like heavily influenced by real events, because we know how the real events in K-dramas are being portrayed. It's sad, tragic. At least in this manhwa, it's not that heavy. It's heavy, but it's bearable. You know, like, it's colorful, and the color of blood is not very much there. Alright, so I think that having their own terms for their nation, okay, is actually a breath of fresh air. So we were introduced here to three kingdoms. We have Sharan, the capital. That's where the king, alright, the king and the queen dowager is from the capital, the Sharan. They're called Sharanese. And we have the Azure nation, where the Azurites live, and that's where Solhwa and Jean are from. And we get to have the information that the very last to enter this empire or to pledge loyalty to the emperor are the Azurites, because just recently they have made executed a rebellion. Right, and then we have the other country or the other kingdom. It's called Goldaria. Goldaria is actually the kingdom of where or from where advisor Kiha and another concubine is from, because basically we need representatives. So those four concubines are representatives from three kingdoms. We have two Sharanese concubine, one from Goldaria and one from Azure, which is actually Solhwa, or the body to where Ellen was transmigrated. Alright, so after Jean actually gave her the initial information and of course reminded her of the things that she needs to do, the maid tended to her, okay, bathed her, dressed her, and then they are now ready for the meeting with the king's advisor and the king himself. And they were taken to the throne room. Now, you know our FLs, you know the female leads of this comics or series. When you tell them not to look at the people in the eyes, they're going to look at the people in the eyes. Right, so she got distracted by the sight and still half believing everything that she's being into. So she's not fully, she's not yet fully aware that she's not dreaming. Alright, so she made a mistake of looking at the eyes of the emperor, and then the advisor scolded her, Kiha scolded her, and of course told her that this is a very respectful thing to do. And then maybe, alright, so the other people are now judging her, and she actually said that these are like the familiar stares of the people, because even in her past self, she still had these stares, like the judging stares. So she experienced it again, and of course, alright, the tension in between her and our advisor Kiha actually started. Alright, so it's very disrespectful, and Kiha was loyal to the emperor, so she scolded her, and then she thought at the back of her mind that this advisor is very scary. Alright, and then from then on, actually, the advisor was watching her already, because our advisor, Kiha, is very pure. I can say that he is very pure, a pure character. And his only mission or his only wish is to actually like unite the three kingdoms, um, genuinely to protect and to cherish, or I mean to develop the empire. And he does not want, all right, he does not want like to invade them, or he does not want anyone to get hurt in the process, but there are things that he needs to do because especially with the rebels that Jean was talking with Solhwa a while ago. So there were rebels who tried to like plot treason, so he needed to act up on that. So we discover here that he's not actually the villain that Jean is trying to paint in Solhwa's mind. So from then on, Kiha took an interest on Solhwa because she's acting weird. Alright, for the previous owner of that body, they did not know, of course, that it was another soul in that, but he realized that how did she ever pass as a concubine if she's this stupid? She does not know basic manners, alright, and is very loud, okay, shows disrespect, and that caught his attention, right? So and then later on, Solwa, upon the realization that this is not a dream, I have to survive here, alright, she then went to the library, okay, and then studied to adapt to their language. And that's how their love story started. Okay, so I'm not going more into the details of the story. Like I planned to actually talk about it from start to finish, but of course it would be very very much unfair for those who would like to read it. Like you won't get the feels of this manhwa if I'm going to talk about here a lot of it. All right, so just read it. Okay, so basically I just want to talk. I'm still very much doubtful of my purpose in this blog, but anyway, I just want to talk about it because I feel like sharing it to everyone. So there will be a lot of major points as to why I am in love with this manhwa. Okay, first and foremost, it's very much different from the other manhwas that I have read before. Okay, so especially in the theme of Isekai or the transmigration, this feels very different. Alright, so it's very pretty, it's actually beautiful, okay, like different, beautifully different, unique from the other manhwas. And the plot, okay, it's a good dose of romance, like tension and suspense. Okay, so we have there the problems that arise. Anyway, the problem that came in, alright, in the course of the development of their story. Okay, of course, we have our villains, alright, and we have this person or the character that we actually do not know if he's the villain or he's just being used by another villain, alright, and of course, major problems such as how is she going to tell the people around her that it's not Solhwa's soul here. Okay, that gets pretty interesting actually in the middle of the story. Like, how is she going to tell Kiha? Because Kiha is actually our main lead, right? So he's a very beautiful character, like very mature and beautifully drawn, beautifully thought of. Alright, so, and of course, in this manhwa, instead of the emperor, okay, instead of the emperor, we get to have the side, I mean, the side person of the emperor as our main lead, which is the advisor. We have Kiha, right? So it's not like the others that is just emperor and the villain, or emperor and a female lead like that. And of course, we have their small interactions that was beautifully built up, alright, from an insult, not a typical insult because she's a concubine. Okay, there was this reason why Kiha got angry with her, okay, because she actually violated being that quirky female lead that she is, because she's from the modern, then she transferred. No, you know the disaster of that. So she violated the law, and that started the insult. But of course, being the mature male lead that he is Kiha. He apologized, and then they built their relationship there and became friends. And later, they realized that both of them are actually filling the gap, filling the missing gap within each other. All right, so the story is not problematic in such a way that it was beautifully written. All right, so we get to see all the problems in the beginning, and we slowly get to see them solved later. Okay, so I mean, like, we have the small twist, but actually we expected it already. And I think the one thing there that I actually did not expect, if there's one thing, actually I have a feeling of it, but if there's a one thing there, it was that part. Okay, major spoiler. If you don't want to hear it, just skip it. Okay, all right. So if it was that part when we actually realized that there's only not one soul in this body. There are actually more than one soul here. So it's not just Ellen's soul. Okay, so it became a problem in the later part because everything was already resolved. Like they already defeated some of the enemy. Now, what's left is a problem of Ellen, the transmigrated soul that she needs to solve herself because it became a danger to Kiha if she is not able to solve this problem within herself. But again, we get to see a female who has the will to live. At least she's not a female who acts dumbly. She looks weak, right? There's nothing there that she wields the sword, she fights someone, or she strategized over something like that. But she has the will to live, which actually is very realistic. Like she doesn't need to be like this female lead who wields a sword, fights the enemies herself, or create difference. She just wants to leave, according to her. That's also the best part of her that Kiha likes. Her will to live, because Kiha actually lost his sense of purpose already, and that's the biggest gap that Ellen had filled. Alright, okay, and then you get to see yourself intrigued about the relationship that this body has with the other characters, and the other characters, the relationship that other characters have with the others, because we have there the mysterious ninja character, we have Moon, we have the king, who does not act as a king actually. He is very much he trusts Kiha very much, but he also trusts her mother. Not trust. He loves his mother very much. The Queen Dowager, right? So there was a problem there that involves the three of them: the king, Kiha, and the Queen Dowager also, which was solved in a sad but satisfying way. And another one that I'd like to point out about this manhwa is that it's not burdensome. Okay, there's a talk of political war, yes, and it was beautifully carried out. It was beautifully solved after, but it does not leave you with such an aching heart. You know, the political tension between the nation, because as I have said earlier, there are three kingdoms here, and the Azure nation is the last one to surrender. And as of now, they're not yet surrendering. But since, okay, another spoiler, please skip this one. Actually, Solhwa forfeited her place as a concubine. Alright, so the nation of the Azori lost their hope to kill the king, or maybe poison the advisor, so she was exiled. So but this tension was actually carried out or solved again in the end. Again, the political tension was not burdensome. Okay, not enough for your heart to ache, or for your mind to hurt, or for your head to hurt. Okay, and there's a little bit of magic in here, of course, because it's Isekai, it's transmigration. There's a little bit of magic, there's a shaman there, and of course, soul manipulation. There is a little bit of the mystery, and yes, overall, it's a beautiful story. And I believe if they're going to adapt this into a K-drama or maybe a series, this will be a very good one. I really am into it, though it's very much underrated. That's that's why I'm actually trying to get you to read this manhwa, because I believe this is very much underrated, and it's sad because it's beautiful. Okay, Elin Solhwa manhwa is very beautiful. So, if you are watching this and you would like to start reading manhwas, you can start with Elin Solhwa. Alright, and then this will be your standard, because unlike someone else, or unlike the future you who's going to read this one, I read some other manhwas before I arrived at this one. Alright, so but if I am going to like put a pedestal of all the works that I have read, I'm going to put this ranking up. Okay, so it suddenly climbed at the top of my list, and this is my like very manhwa. Like if I'm going to read something that I have read, I'm going to base this on Ellen Sowa. Okay? Alright, so again, I am urging you to read this manhwa. It's available in Lezin Comics, but of course, I'm not going to introduce to you some illegal sites. Okay, it's up for you to know, but you know the title already, and I guess you can just scan it there. Okay, alright, so that's it, I believe. I hope you did listen to my story. Pardon me if it does not if this does not meet your standard of sit down vlog, because this is my first time. You have to give it to me, like it's my first time doing this kind of thing, and of course it's very anesthetic, but you see, okay, I just want to talk. Let's just talk. Maybe in the future, I'm not an awkward person, but let's talk more in the future. And I'll be doing more of the recommendations for my next vlog. I hope I can do much justice to some of the recommendations that I'm going to do. Okay, thank you so much for watching. If you did watch this from the end, I'll give you a heart. This is for you. Okay, alright. So if you would like to listen to more of my sit down vlogs, in my next videos, just click like and maybe subscribe. Click the notification bell, and I'll see you on my next sit down vlog. Bye bye.